The wage gap and gender equality. In 2015, the average woman working the same amount of hours at the same job as a man was only paid 80% of the man's wage. And this wage gap is not a new thing. Ever since women and men have both been working together, men have been being paid more for the same job. However, this wage gap may come to an end. Based on the increase between 1960 and 2015, women are expected to meet pay equality in 2059. And while it's a long way off, it's not nearly as long as if the rate continues to be as stagnant as it has been since 2001. Because if the rate between women and men getting equal pay from 2001, if that continues, then the pay equality will be achieved in 2152, which is far too long. This is the wage gap by state. In New York and Delaware, women are paid 89% of men's wages, and these are the two highest paying states for women's equality. In Wyoming, which is the lowest paying state, women are paid 64% of men's wages. And in the bottom, there's a little chart of how much percent women are paid compared to men in each state, and you can find your state and see how much a woman would be making in your state compared to a man. And in addition to women being paid less, this goes even deeper if the woman is of a different race. An Asian woman earned 81 cents per dollar earned by an Asian man. African American women earn 82 cents per every dollar earned by an African American man, and Hispanic women earn 88 cents per dollar earned by every Hispanic man. So the variation depends on the race as well. Now lastly, this is how to close the gap. There are numerous ways or theories on how to close the gap, but these are the main ones. The first is to speak up about it, and rather than letting this be a stigma or something that nobody talks about, people should speak up about it, and then that will influence a change. It would also be really beneficial to pass wage gap equality legislation. If wage gap equality was made into a law, nobody could break the law, and then the people would be forced to have wage gap equality rather than companies paying women less for the same amount of work. Another way that women could be paid more is if we raise the minimum wage. 63% of people earning $7 or less an hour are female, so by raising that minimum wage, women would be paid more, and then there would be more of a wage gap deficit. And then lastly would be to enforce paternity leave for fathers. So women aren't working a lot of the time, well, not a lot of the time, but they do have to take a significant amount of time off after having a child. And many experts say if fathers were expected to have the same amount of paternity leave, or were given the option of the same amount of paternity leave, and took over some of that paternity leave for the mother, then the mother could potentially get back to work. And then that would also help end the wage gap. So the wage gap is not something that's new. It's been going on for a while. And it could potentially end by 2059. Or it could proceed on for almost 150 more years. It really depends on how much action is put into it and what is done to help prevent the wage gap.